Hey Mark, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I am doing good. Wow. Your first album came out and it changed the entire, the perspective of how fans perceived, the doom metal in general with the kind of variations which came in. And now with the new album, I'm sure you guys must be super stoked.
Yeah, we're very happy actually with the new album because it feels like we've been able to take a new step, musically and sound-wise and everything. And so we're very happy about the new album. We really hope that people will like it as much as we do.
That's really great. I mean, it's just like a few weeks left. October 23rd, the album is releasing out worldwide. So, in terms of, the single which you released, the self-titled single, how have the fans responded?
Yeah, it seems like people really like the song. It's like I think it is a little bit different from if you listen to the first album, but
Yeah,
it's a little more up tempo and maybe more like a classic hard rock song.
right.
I don't know, maybe, but also it has like a lot of punk rock attitude and all this kind of stuff. But people seems to really like it a lot. And this weekend we actually played it live for the first time, and that was very good response from the audience.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, I personally dig the track, although I haven't had a chance to listen to the album. It's nice
Oh,
to basically open the album with an up-tempo track, isn't it?
yeah, it is very nice, and it's also. I'm not sure if we're going to open the live shows with it, but it's also it would be a very cool song to open the live shows with as well.
That's right. Now, fans kind of, love the doom parts in the first album, and I'm sure there will be plenty of them in the other tracks. So, was it kind of a
Yeah,
preconceived thing that, you want to have an up-tempo track being released for fans in advance?
yeah. Well, I think there's also like we thought it was a good song because it represents the album quite much because this album is different from the first.
Uh-huh.
If you think of if you listen to the All I Want EP,
Yeah,
then that's the All I Want EP is the bridge between the first album and the new album,
right.
so to speak. So you can say that the new album is little like a blend of these two albums, but with a new twist and
Turns.
new sound.
Yeah, it sounds really good. Now, before we talk about the album, I just wonder what is this title, "The Girl with the Raven Mask"? What meaning does it convey? Is it a concept album? What is it? Could you please throw some light on that?
The album is not a concept album. Every song and every lyric stands for itself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the title track, "The Girl with the Raven Mask," that's the a very cool lyric, about this person, this girl that you see show up in all these different places,
Mm-hmm.
always hiding behind this very strange raven mask
Okay.
thing. And you don't know if it's a good person, it's an evil person, it's a bad person. What kind of person is it?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, it can also be like a metaphor
Right.
for, you know, what hides, what you try. What if even if you hide stuff, it will always come up in the end. If
Right.
you try to hide if you try to hide your feelings, it will all of a sudden will pop up anyway. So it can be a metaphor, or it can just be a very cool story that is like, I still don't know who this person is,
This.
but
Okay.
I'm very fascinated by her, and I'm thinking when I listen to the song, I'm thinking like, I wonder who she is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why what we always want also with the lyrics. We want people to start to think like that and find their own ways of
Right.
understanding the lyrics and find their own understanding of metaphors or the stories.
That sounds really good. So it looks like, you, Jenny, Lee, you guys have sat together and try to come up with this sort of a message, a more like, let's say, a story or something about
Yeah,
how it feels like when you are put into this environment and the sort of the surprise factor in the music as well as lyrics.
yeah. But I think one of the coolest things with all the lyrics on the album is you can read them as a if you just read them as the story
Mm-hmm.
that's being told, it is a good story.
Okay.
But you can also find all these metaphors and find totally other ways of understanding them. And that's what I think. If you can make a lyric like that, then I think you're really, have succeeded with doing a great lyric.
That sounds really great. So, talking about the songwriting process, how was it this time? I mean, was it like Leif bringing in some riffs and you bringing some riffs and Jenny adding vocals, or was it like a total collaboration of you guys sitting in a studio or let's say home studio and come up with these songs?
Yeah, but it's Leif actually asked me to write, more songs, because me and Jenny Ann, we wrote Deep Well on the All I Want album, for example. And but I'm the producer of this album, so for me that took so much time, and I'm arranging the songs, and me and Jenny Ann, we're arranging it together. And that took so much time. So Leif, he came in with the basic foundations, with the lyrics and with the riffs, and then that's how the procedure is. Like this: Leif comes in in my studio, and with a rough skeleton, yeah. And then we start to work on it, and then we listen to the song later. When we go home, okay, yeah, this is something to work with.
Right.
And then me and Jenny Ann starts to work on the arrangements and the melodies.
Yeah.
To to find the AVATARIUM sound, so to speak, and what we do. So, and then after that, we went to the rehearsal studio and we continued. Everybody continues to contribute with their things, and so it's like a lot of steps before the song ends up the way it is.
Right. That sounds really good. Sounds really cool. And your guitar tone on the debut album was amazing. I mean, I love that perfect combination. And when I listened to it, it made me, it gave me a melancholic feeling, yet that deep sorrow vibe, which I really loved. Any change in the tone on this album?
And it's probably, it's always different. So it's I think you will feel both. You will recognize stuff from the first album, but you will also hear that there's a lot of different things as well.
Okay, so you mixed them up.
Yeah, I would say that. And but I'm very happy. I had, like, with guitar work, I've been working very hard, even more hard on this album, with like different guitars, different amps, different pedals. It's been like I've been searching a lot to create the sounds on the new album. So it's I would say it's even more, it's bigger variation on this album, sound wise and also feeling wise, with different modes and all this kind of stuff.
Okay, so from an emotional perspective, I mean, I came across a statement made by Leif that we obviously have a straightforward title track, and then we have a groovy track called Run Killer Run, and there's some organs, there's some Rhodes piano, and there's a lot of stuff going on in here. So for you as a producer of this album, how important and challenging was it for you to make sure all these parts sound so well with the songs, and it shouldn't sound that you guys are trying extra?
Yeah, but that's also always very important, because you don't want to just throw in a lot of stuff and then just hope for everything to work, because you need to try. But that's why it takes quite long time, actually, because we need to be able to try different things.
Right.
And some stuff works and some stuff doesn't work. And I think, but the main thing when I produced the album was that I wanted to try to come close to the way we sound live. And because we started to tour a lot after the first album, and on the first album there's a lot of guitars,
right?
And on this album we took in more organs, because that's distorted organs, because that's how we sound live,
right?
So I wanted that, and also I want everybody in the band to bring in their personalities in the playing, so that you can feel and hear that this is him or this is her doing what she's doing. So we don't want to do like just the cliche things. I wanted everybody to
Focus.
to focus and be careful with bringing in their personalities and personal touch. You know.
That sounds really great. I mean, Jenny's lyrics I mean, I don't know who actually wrote the lyrics, but the way they are expressed on this title track, which was released, are phenomenal. I mean, when I look back at, listening to Moonsaw, the Moonflower and other songs which was present on the first album, it made me feel that this is something else. There's some, sort of a melodic vibe which is coming out of Jenny, and she's trying to push herself even more. And I don't know how is she sounding on the other tracks, so I'm sure she must have basically overcome some, made some improvements on this album. So what was it for you as a songwriter and as a producer to see Jenny trying to come out of her comfort zone and, let's say, sing something which she hasn't done before?
Yeah, I think this has all come, been very natural since we've been playing so much live.
Mm-hmm.
So like Jenny Ann, she's been able to, and both her and all of us have been able to try out different things live.
Mm-hmm.
Different emotions, different ways of singing, different ways of playing.
Right.
And then that's once again, then we took that in on this album. So that's like we've been preparing for this album with doing live shows, I would say.
Nice. So
everybody are very good musicians, so everybody can, if we find stuff we like, okay, keep that, use that thing on this song, so we can keep things in memory, and we try stuff all the time.
Right. That sounds really great. So so to make it precise, that this album is meant to be played live. That's where the real vibe comes in.
Yeah, I would say so.
So you have a Vintage Caravan tour coming up. So how many tracks would fans expect to be played live?
I'm not really sure, because if we could, we would play all of them actually, but but quite many anyway.
All right. So anything else apart from the tour, which you guys will be covering, Germany and the other countries around? Anything planned? I don't know whether you guys have played in States anytime.
No, we haven't done that yet. I think our main market this far has been like Europe. And but it seems like people are being interested, from all around the world. Actually, we get, South America, South American and North America, of course. And so we'll see. I'm not sure right now, but for us, it's been good to be able to tour in Europe and then go back and work with our music. Actually, that's been good, because if we would have been touring, like crazy,
mm-hmm.
then we wouldn't have been able to write new music as well.
True.
But it's it's always a give and take with all these things with touring, and we love to tour, but it's also like to make it a tour work well and be successful. There's a lot of work, and it's not easy, but it seems like it's getting. We are in a good situation with AVATARIUM, so we're very happy about that, because now we're doing our first headline tour, and our booking company wants us to tour more in the spring and also in the summer. So we are getting vibes that people are being very interested, and that's very nice.
Figure out that you guys can come to India down the road.
Yeah.
Doom metal, this classic rock, and the way the band like AVATARIUM is coming up with it. I mean, there's a lot of scope here in India for you guys to come. So I really hope and wish that you guys get to come here soon.
That would be amazing. That's like one of the places we want to go to. So, I always wanted to see India. So that would be amazing.
That's really cool, Marcus. So before we conclude, how about you define this new album, The Girl with the Raven Mask, in just one sentence?
A good hard rock doom album for people who really likes music.
in general. That's fantastic, Marcus. Wonderful explanation. I look forward to listening to the album. I'm very excited actually, and I was having a chat with my German PR friends, and they're like, "Okay, we'll send the album soon." I'm really excited because I always prefer to have a chat with the musician after listening to the album. I get a very,
Yeah.
in-depth sort of an analysis. But nonetheless, I'm super excited to hear this album, and down the road, I'll probably catch you guys in Hamburg in November because I'll be traveling to Germany, so we get to meet
Yeah.
there.
Okay, so if you, I hope you like it, and it will be nice to hear how you
Fantastic, brother.
how you find it.